This video is made possible by Spencer Shipley at Packey Webb Ford in Downers Grove, Illinois. Spencer is dedicated to finding the right car for you in the quickest time possible. Give him a call or contact him with the information up on the screen or found in the description below.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2014 Volkswagen Beetle Entry. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline 5 and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this here Volkswagen Beetle for a couple of reasons. First of all, I've driven Beetles before, but I actually haven't reviewed one here on the channel. This is my first ever Beetle for the channel, which I'm super excited about. But the second reason is the fact that this is a base model. Now, normally when I get base models to review, I'm like, it's missing this, it's missing that. I wish I had this, I wish I had that. But no, the story's different here because the original Volkswagen Beetle was a base model. It was a simple, basic car. It was cheap. They made millions of them, and that was the whole point of it. Volkswagen in German directly translates to the people's car. And so yes, a lot of modern cars have a bunch of bells and whistles and things like that, but this doesn't. And I really like that. I think it's more true to form of the Beetle. So let's get into it. Let's get back to that 2.5 liter inline 5. Well, this engine is actually also used in the Jetta. Also, this engine was actually used in the Audi TT, but that of course got turbos. As well as a couple other Volkswagen products. Inline 5, not really used anymore by most auto manufacturers. I actually can't really think of anyone else that has an inline 5 besides Volvo. And it makes 170 horsepower and 177 foot-pounds of torque. It's by no means fast, but it makes a decent amount of power, especially for being naturally aspirated with no turbo. In terms of fuel economy, it gets 22 miles to the gallon in the city and 31 on the highway. Not bad for a 5-cylinder. Now, unlike older Beetles, the engine is water-cooled and it is up front. Of course, with modern technology, I wouldn't expect it any other way. I guess you could hear the 5-cylinder. We'll try it. I mean, it definitely moves for an economy car. For a base model car, really, really good, especially without the help of a turbo. In terms of all the cars in the world, I would not consider this fast. I would not consider this quick. I would not consider it anything other than the fact that it works. And that's good. It works. Like I said, paired to its 6-speed automatic transmission, I don't really notice a single thing with it, which is good. That's what I look for. I actually look for nothing. It's kind of funny, but I look for nothing because I don't want to feel the transmission doing its thing. I want it to be nice and smooth, and that's exactly what this transmission does, and I have no complaints about it. Last but not least, this here Beetle is, of course, front-wheel drive. So let's talk about the interior. We have a decent bit to go through in here. Well, in front of me, I have 3 main gauges. On the left is my tachometer, on the right is my fuel, and in the center is my speedometer. Now, the fuel gauge is rather large, probably the largest fuel gauge I've seen in a car, at least in a very long time. I do get a little digital readout showing me my miles till empty, time of day, and gear, as well as my odometer, which says only 76,000 miles on this vehicle, which is nice. I like that it's there. It is a little bit older, but this car is 7 years old, so I'm not going to mention that again. On the steering wheel, I don't actually get any buttons. No buttons. I have the Volkswagen logo, I have my horn and airbag, but no buttons. I love this, as we'll talk about at the end. I think this is very true to the Beetle form. However, even though it's not on the steering wheel, I do have a stock for cruise control, so you do get cruise control here in the base model Volkswagen Beetle, which is nice. To the left of me, up high up, I do have my headlight switches and dimmer switches and a vent. On the door, high up again, like the headlights, I have my lock and unlock and my power mirrors, as well as power windows down below. Moving into the center, I have a little tray up top, and then I have a very simple radio. It's just that. It's a radio and CD player. I can scan through channels. I can do aux or CD. There is no USB in. There is no Bluetooth or anything like that. That's it. Down below that simple radio, we have simple climate controls. On the far left is my temperature. Doesn't give me actual digits. It's just hot or cold and just kind of find your middle. I have fan speed in the middle and where to send it on the right. And then I have a hazard switch at the bottom and a bunch of dead switches. Now, I assume in higher trim levels, this would be maybe heated seats, or in the convertible version, the convertible top options, things like that. But again, this is a base model, so it just has a hazard switch and that's it. Then I get a little cubby, as well as this is where the aux input is found. And I get a 12-volt outlet and the shifter. The shifter, very basic, very simple, looks good, and I can plus minus if I'd like, or I have a sport mode. Then I have a physical parking brake and 2 cup holders, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test for the first time in a Beetle, and it fails. Unfortunately, it does not pass the big friggin' bottle test. It's ever so slightly too large, which that's okay. For an economy car like this, smaller car like this, it's to be expected. The seats are okay. They are slightly hard and they're not super comfortable, but they are economy seats. They're not meant to be comfortable. They're not meant to be anything except for seats to physically hold you inside of the vehicle. That is their one and only job. That's it. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2014 Volkswagen Beetle, and these seats are hard. They are not that enjoyable. Headroom, my head is hitting the ceiling, but if I lean down a little bit, I think it's okay. I don't get really any amenities back here besides a speaker over here. Yeah, no center console, and this is a 2+2. There's only 2 seats back here and not a third. I do have a 12-volt outlet down here, surprisingly, and a cup holder that could barely fit a shot glass, so not much going on back here. But you do have back seats if you need them. Again, very true to form of the original Beetle. Original Beetles had back seats, but the back seats actually did have seat heaters in the original Beetle because you were sitting pretty much on top of the engine. But since we don't have that in the rear, let's go take a look at the trunk. And I will say, actually, hold on, before we talk about the trunk, I'm just moving to get out here. This seat does go up very far. Because it is a manual seat by nature, very easy to move up and out of the way, and it gives you a lot of space to get out. Now, no one in the history of the world has ever looked graceful getting out of a 2-door, but at least it's a little bit better in this one. So, around the back of the 2014 Beetle, this does something that the GTI and Golfs do. Bada bing, bada boom, pull up just like that. And look at all this cargo space. It actually has a bunch of cargo space, which is really, really nice. Old Beetles, of course, this is where the engine would be, but I can pull this up. I have a spare tire, which is nice. Tons of room in here. I would say comparable to my Mazda 3 hatchback, which is very, very nice. Tons of room, love that. And again, I love the simplicity of it. So a couple of thank yous to the people who made this video possible. First of all, we have Cash for Cars. Cash for Cars wants to buy your car. Whether it's running, non-running, has a good title, salvage title, whatever it is, you can get a free quote from Cash for Cars and they will pick up your vehicle in less than 24 hours. Our next sponsor is Fixed. Fixed is a Bluetooth OBD2 sensor that plugs directly into your car and pairs to your smartphone. The app allows you to monitor your vehicle's health. It gives you a forecast of issues that might come up and helps you schedule maintenance and find new parts. Our final sponsor is Conplates. Conplates is a suction cup license plate mount for the front of your vehicle if you don't want to drill one into your bumper. All 3 of our fantastic sponsors can be found in the description below, as well as videos explaining them further if you'd like more information, but let's get on with the review. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I mean, guys, I don't think it gets much more iconic than the Beetle. The Beetle has looked relatively unchanged ever since it was debuted all those decades ago. And again, I love the fact that this is the base model. It doesn't have any added on stickers. It doesn't say things on the back. It doesn't have a little spoiler, blah, blah, blah. It's very calm, collected, and simple. And so let's get on to my final talking point, which is the fact that I was a little worried getting into this Beetle. You know, this is a more modern Beetle. This is the last body style before they got rid of it. Which, yes, actually right now, currently in 2021, there is no 2021 Beetle. And I was a little worried that they were going to kind of jump the shark. I was worried that Volkswagen was going to turn the Beetle into something it's not. And I think partially that was inevitable. I think some things in here, like obviously it has standard air conditioning, it has digital screens for the radio and for the gauges, and it has a modern 6-speed, it has the modern 5-cylinder engine up front, nevertheless, where the old Beetles were rear-engined. I think the things I just listed were inevitable. It had to happen to be a modern car. But besides those necessities, I think this car has stayed really true to form. I think there was a very natural progression from the original Beetle to this. This is basic. This is no fluff. And that's what I loved. I haven't reviewed an original Beetle, but I have driven a Karmann Ghia and a camper van. And the story with those vehicles is the fact that they are simple. They're easy. Anyone can get in and anyone can drive them. Volkswagen, the people's car. They're simple. They're for everyone and they're just here for a good time. It doesn't have the extra fluff. It doesn't have heated seats. You don't need heated seats. You don't need steering wheel buttons. You don't need a radio screen that shows you 1.5 million different colors every second of the day. You don't need all of that fluff. This is a no fluff car, and that's what the original Beetle was. This is true to form. This is a solid Beetle. This is a Beetle. This is the Beetle. This is not something that Volkswagen just shoved the Beetle name onto and got rid of it. No, this is the Beetle. And even to send home that point, you could buy this Beetle right now from Packey Webb Ford for $14,000. $14,000 is not a whole lot of money for a car. You can't even really buy a new car for $14,000. This car is affordable, it's basic, it's simple, it does one job, but it does that job really well, and everyone can get into it, feel comfortable, and drive it without a crash course on how to do so. That's what Volkswagen has always been about, and it's continued here in the 2014 Beetle. I love it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Spencer Shipley from Packey Webb Ford for letting me take out the Beetle. He's been absolutely awesome. Super, super helpful when it comes to getting these reviews. I'm excited to work with him because I always have fun stuff to show you guys. And even though the car market is crazy right now, Spencer will calm you down and walk you through the hysteria in which is the used car market. The hardest thing about working with Spencer is figuring out what you want to do with the rest of your day after you drive off in your new car. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe. We really like to take care, guys.